So we learned 1 point, 2 point, and now it's time to learn some 3-point perspective, and let's do that right now. Hi, I'm James the Box Office Artist, and welcome to another tutorial. And this time we are going to do 3-point perspective. Okay, we're getting a little bit more difficult, but I am also doing this tutorial in the most simplest way. Okay, just so you guys get the idea. So I'm not doing anything fancy with these perspective videos because I just want you guys to follow along so you can get the concept of 1 point, 2 point, and now 3-point perspective. And then maybe on in some later videos we could get to some more complex city and the way figures are drawn in perspective and all of that. We will get to that eventually. But again, like anything else, you need to learn how to walk before you could run, and that's no different with this tutorial. Okay, so 3-point perspective is more difficult than 1 point and 2 points, but at the same time, as long as you guys understand what it really means, then you should be okay. So 3-point perspective, what is it really? As we know before, we have our horizon line where the sky meets the ground, or in other words, the eye line. It's how tall the person that is looking at your scene is looking at in space, okay? So that is what we also refer to as the eye line, the horizon line. And then, of course, we have the 2 vanishing points. So what is the third point? Because we call it 3-point. What is the third point? Well, it is the point from where your viewer is looking at, okay? So where the viewer is looking at, that point on the horizon line going either straight up or straight down, okay? That is the third point, okay? Where does this come into play? Well, whenever we have what we call a worm's eye view. For example, if the person is on the ground, but he is looking up, he or she is looking up, okay? So in essence, he's still, he's still at the ground, the horizon line's still low, but he is looking up at a particular building. That's when the third point comes in. Or maybe your person is on top of a big building, a really tall building, and looking down. That's where we get another point. And these points actually have a name, okay? If you are looking up from the worm's eye view, if you are looking up, the point up in the top, that's actually called the zenith, okay? And if you are looking at the point going all the way down at the bottom, it's like if you're on top of a building looking down at the bottom, that point is called the nadir. I believe it's pronounced nadir. So let's do something really, really simple, okay? And I want to do something that's a little bit recognizable. So I went to look on Google for a simple building that we could do, and I found one. My son's a big fan of Teen Titans Go, and maybe you are a fan of the Teen Titans in the comic books, so I thought, why not do the Teen Titans headquarters? Because in all honesty, it's just one giant T. So I thought that'd be easy enough for us to start getting our hands a little bit dirty, and let's dwell in the world of 3-point perspective. So let's get started. Okay, so here we go with this tutorial. Again, I explained the vanishing points and the zenith. So today, for this particular tutorial, I wanted to do something a little bit simple. Just so you guys can get the hang of this, and then maybe later on I'll do a tutorial with something a little bit more complex when it comes to perspective. So I'm doing it starting very low on the paper here. Okay, so my horizon line is actually pretty low here. Now, again, it's one of those things where we're doing a worm's eye view. Okay, so and I'm not going to do the bird's eye view. I'm doing the worm's eye view here. So just because I wanted to do something a little bit simple. Okay, so this will be my horizon line here. I am going to put the one vanishing point here, another one here. These are the 2 vanishing points, and now I'm going to show you guys where I'm going to put the zenith. Let me just make sure the vanishing points are in the camera, which they are, and the zenith would roughly be in about the middle of this. And where would the middle of this be? I'm going to show you guys a little trick here, because I want to roughly do this correctly. I'm actually going to do like a little X in here in the middle, just so I know where the midline is. I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here. So roughly the middle is like around here. Okay? I'm going to draw up here like this. Okay? And I'm going to have my other vanishing point right here. Okay? So Okay, so again, this is the zenith. Okay, this vanishing point, this is the zenith. It's the point that's directly above you. Now, whenever you're drawing something like this, maybe you're drawing something wider. It's very rare I'm able to fit all three vanishing points in the same piece of paper here. But always keep in mind this consideration. If I draw a line from here to here, this triangle here like this, okay, like you saw in the diagram I showed you earlier, and from here to here, you kind of don't want to go past this line when it comes to your buildings, because your buildings will start looking wonky. I'll give you an example of that. Just say at a building was like this. Yeah, the closer you get to here, the more your buildings will start to look wonkier and wonkier. Okay, so you want to keep everything contained, like in this particular area here. Okay, so again, guys, what we're gonna do, we're gonna do something pretty simple, all right, and fun too at the same time. We are going to do, okay, let me just make sure that the other vanishing point is in the camera, which it's not, but now it is, because I want you to see this. Okay, so what are we going to do? I'm thinking let's do something very, very simple. And again, what I'd like to do, I'm looking here at some reference. Let's do something comic booky. And I'm thinking to myself, why don't we do the Teen Titans Tower? The Teen Titans Tower, it's very, very simple. It's just pretty much a T. It's a T, okay? So again, this is like a worm's eye view, all right? So just say we already have a line here. Maybe we'll make that the starting point for what we're going to draw here. So I'm just going to rough this out first, and then we will actually get to going with the details here, okay? So this is what I'm going to do, all right? I'm going to start with the bottom this thing. So I'm going to draw a line here like this, cross here like that, and a line here that goes across like this. Now it's all a matter of how tall do I want this Teen Titans Tower, okay? So again, if I draw a line, and the line has to go to the zenith, remember, it has to go all the way up here. So I'll just say I'm going to go here like this, okay? And then from this side here, I want it to be pretty much equal size, because this is the middle. If I just draw a line across like this, for the most part, that would probably be equal size. I'm gonna do a line that goes up like that, okay? So now I gotta determine to myself where the top of this thing is going to be, okay? So we have the two building sides here, looking up. So I'm going to decide how tall I want this Teen Titans Tower to be here, without it looking completely wonky. Like if I did it all the way up here, which I could. First of all, the building would look massive. If you stand underneath a giant building, this is what you would see. If I could make it that tall, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna, because I want to see a little bit more of this top. So maybe I will do something like this. Okay, so I'm just drawing the line straight across. Okay, just for guide. And I'm going to draw another line straight across like this. This isn't the ends. I'm going to decide that right now where I want the ends to go. So from the zenith vanishing point, I'm going to go here and decide how big I want this thing. Maybe like around here. Okay? So this would be one edge of the tower. And then maybe, and I'm just guesstimating here, this will be the other side of the tower. For those of you who haven't seen the Teen Titans Tower before, it's pretty much just a giant T. It's a giant T that's broken up into buildings, okay? So now I'm going to go from this vanishing point, because now we have this T in here in the front. I'm looking at it now, I kind of want a little bit, I'm not sure if this building's a little too tall. But we'll go with this for now, just to keep it simple, alright? So I'm going to go underneath here, and you see I have a point here underneath. So we're going to see underneath this block here. Okay, that's a worm's eye view. We're looking up. So I have a point here. I'm going to go from here all the way to the vanishing point and go down here like this to the edge. Okay, so this will be the bottom of this particular space up here. Okay, so I'm going to go from the other vanishing point. I'm going to go to the other line here like that. Boom, like this. Okay, so now I'm going back to this vanishing point, going back to this corner, bring it back, just like that, okay? So this, now you could definitely see the bottom of this particular structure here. I'm going to go from this point here, I'm going to go all the way up to the top like this, And then I'm going to go from this vanishing point here, I'm going to go up here like this. Okay, and there is our T structure here. Okay, I forgot this side here. I have a coordinate here like this. Going to the right vanishing point here and bring it all the way down like that. I could draw the other side, but it's actually covered by this part of the building here. So let me just darken up these lines a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Bring back to the vanishing points. Now for you guys, just to get started, I think I've mentioned this before, but to make your lives a little bit easier, if you want, once you have your points here, it doesn't hurt to have like a thumbtack or something that would stick up from here, so you could just quickly plug your ruler here, and then you could go back and forth like that, back and forth like that. So that's the bottom of the mountain here. I would assume that we would be standing here. Okay, now the front of the building, we'll say this is the front, of course, it's the front of the T. For the most part, if you look at the reference for this particular part is cut up into four. Cut it up into 4 sections of windows, okay? So now I'll show you guys how to actually cut this up pretty much in an accurate way. Okay, so we have pretty much like like this rectangle here. So what we're going to do is find points to actually separate these correctly. So first of all, we've done this before in the other tutorials. Okay, let's find the center point to this particular side here. So we're going to go here like this, and I'm going to cross like this. Okay, and the center point is right there. Could you believe that? That's actually the center point. Okay, because it's in perspective, right? So the further away it is away from you, the less space it is. Okay, so since that's the center point, I'm going to go from my left vanishing point up to the center point, all the way up here like this. Okay, so this is the center. Okay, it might look off to you, but because of the perspective, this is correct. All right, so now let's find the center point here and the center point here. I'm going to cross again here like this, one here like that, one here like that. So it helps to do this lightly, guys. It helps to do this lightly because then you'll have like hundreds of lines on your drawing, which is what we don't want. And then go like this, and I'm going to go like this from this corner to this corner here. Okay, and then I'm going to go from this vanishing point here to this vanishing point here, like this. Boom. So you see, in theory, okay, I say in theory a lot, someone called me out on it. In theory, all of these guys in space should be the same size in perspective. In perspective, that's how you judge it, okay? If you actually measure this as is right now, it's not, you know, of course they're not going to be equal, but in perspective, that's why it actually kind of feels correct. It feels right. So just for fun, I'm going to do this on the other side too. I'm going to take that point that we got, because it will help me with this side, even though this isn't divided into 4. Okay, let me just take off this tape here for a second. Go here, I'm going to do another line here like this. I can do another line here like this. I hope you guys can see this. Yes, you can. Good. Okay, so now here's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's get some detail going in this guy. Now, if you want, I'm gonna actually draw a little mountain here like this, because the Teen Titans base is like on like this little mountain ridge thing here, which is totally fine. Okay, now let's draw the sides to this. So remember, all the lines that we do from here on out, they're all going to a particular vanishing point. Not like the other tutorials where all the verticals were going straight up. Now they have a point to go to, which is this point here. So I'm going to go from this point here, and I'm just going to draw a little sliver here like this on the side like that. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing on the other side here. Like that. Okay? Bring this up a little bit, and now I'm gonna add some detail here. I might go into ink very shortly, guys, because a lot of the bulk of this work what I like to do with the blue pencil, I just like to kind of do the bulk of the structure to this, which is done here. I wanted to find out what these lines were, okay, and I wanted to find out how the steel would work. One more thing I do want to do with the structure is on the side of this building, there's like one slot here and it's filled with windows. So I'm going to come here like this. Okay, first of all, I'll try to find the middle of this thing. So like we did before, I'm just going to draw a line here. In theory, if I go like this to this, because this is the middle line, this should be the middle point here. So I'm going to go from here, back up like this. All right. Okay, so now I got that middle line. Now, in theory, if I just say wanted to make these windows half the size, okay, half of this side, okay, I just need to find the center point here. So I will go from the middle point here, go down to the corner, and that's one point here. I will do the same by going here, down to the middle, going down to the center point here like this. This will find the middle here. And then I'll go back up to my zenith, draw a line like this, and draw a line like this. Okay, might add one more just to indent this window. And then I'm going to go here, and I'm actually going to stop these windows probably roughly around maybe here. Maybe here, all right? There you go. Okay, so I'm gonna start to ink this tower here. There's enough here, enough information for me to go ahead. Of course, you guys can put as much information as you want before you actually go ahead with the ink. For me, this is enough information. Now, to let you guys also know, I most likely will be doing the outline. Well, most likely, I am going to be doing the outline with a thicker marker at the end. So right now, I'm starting with a 0.1 micron. Okay, so just to get the basic information down. Okay, and then we will go from there. So start here like this. Okay, so I'm going to do all the verticals first, and I will do everything. Okay, I'll go one vanishing point at a time, going from left to right, so I would have the least amount of smudging when it comes to this. Okay, so again here, guys, I'm only drawing the lines of the main structure points here. Okay, whoops, I missed this line here. I'm not too worried about this line because most likely I will be going this over again with a thicker marker. Okay, so I'm going to go down the side. Here we go. Okay, here's one thing I should have done first. Oh no, that's okay. That's good. Let's keep it simple. We'll bring it all the way up. I was going to join this right away here, but let's not do that. Okay. So from the top here, we'll fit to this line here. Whoops. There you go, very nice. And now this line is the edge of our building. I'm just going up to this corner here like this. Good stuff. Now, I'm going to draw the side, this set of windows here. Top like that. I'm actually going to, you see how we drew a line in the middle? I think I might actually go here and then make this like a window separator. So I'm going to draw one line going up like this, another line very small right beside it. So I'm using that more like a window separator, okay? And now I'm actually going to draw two lines here. One like this, and then one more line like this. So we kind of see like the side, like a windowsill type thing, the side there. All right. Okay, now I'm going to blow this because I realized I forgot one part here I should have done. I'm going to add just two lines right here. One here and one like that. So you see I have one here, one separation line here, and one there. Okay. Now I'm going to draw the other side of the building right here like this. From this corner like that. And now I'm going to draw this particular area up here. And then the back. All right. Okay, now I'm going to do, which vertical should I do? I think I will do these ones first. Actually, no, I'll do this side first here. So let's do the top. Okay, so from the left vanishing point, that connect to the top. Now I'm going to add the top ledge here to the T here, and you might also notice I left openings here, so this actually combines with this area here. Go out like this, 1, 2, like that. Actually, join that up there. And again, 1, 2. And it's interesting, you could do whatever you want under here. That's a personal preference, guys. Okay, and now what else I'm going to do is I'm going to add, you see how I have these separated here? I'm going to start adding some lines there. So, yeah, a couple lines for each blue line here. So I go 1, 2, okay. Do again, same thing here. 1, 2, like that. Again. 1, 2, good. And I'm gonna make this one a little bit thicker, just a little bit closer to us. 2, like that. Okay. Now let's do the other side. Let's do the other side. Okay, from the right vanishing point, let's start with the top. Okay, this line here, this edge here underneath. Oh, I forgot the bottom of that. Okay, do that in a second since I'm already at this vanishing point. Might as well finish up like that. One down here like this. Okay, and then the bottom here. Okay, now I forgot to do this line here. I could do that right now, but then I'm going to go back over this and start thickening up some lines and help with that separation there. Okay, so I'm going to do that with my... Okay, this is more technical drawing, guys. This is how we learned in technical illustration. Just grab my 8. Oh, I thought I saw the 8 here. There it is. Here's my 8, and pretty much what I'm going to do, like we said before, the edges where I could kind of reach my hand around, or if a spider crawls around this edge, if I can't see the spider anymore, that's where I'm going to put the thicker line here, okay? So again, now, remember, we're always going from this vanishing point here. Okay, as you can see, the 8 is a really thick line here. You guys probably don't even have to go with an 8. You could probably use maybe even a 3 would be fine. Very nice. I'm gonna add a line right here. You see where this windowsill ends right here? I might add a line right there. And I'm gonna add, of course, a line right over here, just back. Okay, so I won't touch the line in the middle. Okay, I just want the outline here. So blow it a little bit, and just one more line coming from the zenith here, right here. Okay, now I'm gonna do these 2 lines here. I'm gonna go from this vanishing point. I'm gonna do the top. Okay, and I'm gonna do this point right here. And I'm going from this vanishing point, just thicken up that line and thicken up this line here. Okay, this is before we go into my detail mode. Okay. I might, let's just do the bottom of this thing, why not? So again, guys, this is one of the simplest buildings, okay? Simplest, I just wanted it a little bit recognizable. Okay, so things I'm going to do now. I am actually going to add a tiny bit of detail to this guy. Just a tiny bit. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here, and with my thick marker, okay, so I'm going to make a little bit of a ledge here. I'm going to go up like this, like this. Again, all of this is going into the zenith. Like this. Like this. Whoops. Oh, made a boo-boo. And up like that, okay? And now I'm going to go down from here, and I'm going to go like this, all the way to the line here. All the way to the line here. All the way to the line here. One more. All the way to the line here. See these feel a little bit more three-dimensional now? That's what I want. That's what I was going for here. Okay. You know, looking at it now, I might as well do that to the top as well. So, go like this. That. And actually, I might add one on this side as well. Okay. Below that. For the vanishing point. A little bit underneath there, just for a little bit more detail. Okay, good stuff. Okay, so now, so we got this far here. If you want to stop here, totally cool, totally cool. Now, now what I'm going to do, let me get my blue pencil here. I'm going to add in some extra windows here, but you see how. You see the progression here. You see that. I want to make sure when I add in all these windows, I'm not guesstimating. In terms of, there's like too much space for me to guess exactly how big these windows are in relationship to the windows up here. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each one of these squares here and divide them into 4. Okay, so I got 1. So just give me a second here. I'm going to take each of these squares here, divide into 4. And the reason I divide it into 4 because I want to ensure, actually even before that, I'm going to make sure that there's a little bottom entrance way here. So I won't go all the way down to the bottom there. Go 1, 2. Okay. So again, the reason I'm doing this, guys, is because I want to ensure that the windows are all the same sort of width to them, or height to them. Okay, so I'm going to go from here like this, and actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this all the way here to this corner here. The reason is because I'm going to use this for the windows on this side as well. Okay, I got to think about all those types of things. So bring that all the way up here like that. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a line straight. You see where these X's are? Go straight up here, and that should be the center point. Did I draw this line before? Oh, that's a little off. Okay, I'm going to draw this line to the zenith here. Like that. Okay, and now I'm going to go here and I'm going to do like these little crosses like this. That point here, this point to here, this point to here. And you might ask yourself, why am I doing all these lines? They are so I could try to get these windows as proportionally accurate as possible. Now, most of the time, guys, in the industry, you will probably guess or eyeball these things, right? And I'm getting pretty accurate with this, but for the most part, sometimes you would eyeball this. But with something like 3-point perspective, sometimes the windows are just too wonky out there in terms of size that you have to do this just to ensure that you got the right size. So for example, every time the line crosses the middle line, I will put a dot here. So there's a dot here, dot here, dot here, dot here, because this represents the center in between these two lines here. dot here, dot here, dot here, and dot here. Okay, and then I'm now going to draw those lines as well. And then usually from this, once these lines are in place, and again I'm going to bring these all the way out because again I'm going to use them as guides for when I do the other set of windows. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line like that, up like this, up like this, like this, and up like this. Okay, so if you look at these guys, these look pretty even to me. These look, for the most part, pretty spot on. Okay, so I'm going to use those as guides. I'm actually going to add more, so I'm just going to estimate in the middle how that would go. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start drawing these lines in here. I'm going to use that with the 1 because I wanted to keep the thicker lines with the outside. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. Okay, start with the top here. Goes to the middle. I'm going to go to the top here and go like this. 1. It's the middle. Okay, now. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to do the blue lines first before I do the middle lines, just so you guys can see exactly what I did here. Okay. One, 2, 3, 1, 2, whoops. Just trying to get accurate with these lines, make sure they're going back to the proper vanishing point. And I'm actually going to draw the bottom of this here like this. Okay? So now we got lines that are going all the way across there. And if you look at it, it looks pretty good, right? It looks like they're going up in perspective. I could buy that these lines are now the same size as these lines. I could do that. Okay, so at this point, guys, it's all about how detailed you want to get. Okay, I'm going to get a tiny bit more detailed than this, just a tiny bit. I'm going to go in here a little bit more and add in one more set in between these lines, and I'm just going to eyeball it. Okay, you don't have to do this, guys. You don't have to do this. This is just me. Yeah, actually I have another one there. Okay, so I'm going to go in here like this. Like that, like that. And again, I'm just eyeballing this, guys. I'm just eyeballing it. Like, in all honesty, you guys could have eyeballed the entire thing if you wanted to. You could have eyeballed the entire thing. That's totally fine. You didn't have to get this accurate. But I'm getting this accurate just because I like to. Okay. Like, even with these lines, I could probably get a little bit more accurate. I hope I'm not covering with my hair. I know I covered it with my hair a lot the last tutorial. Apologize for that. So right here, as we get bigger, guys, I'm just guesstimating the middle point of these particular spaces here. Okay, like that, like that, that, and like that. Okay, so you can see the progression here going all the way up. Okay, now this is what I'm going to do here. Okay, because if you actually look at some of the reference pictures, the it's called the Teen Titans building, these are squares. Okay, so I'm gonna add just a few more lines here down the middle. So I'm gonna draw one line like this all the way straight up, but I'm gonna keep in mind these little separators that I have, and this will actually help This will actually help so I can see those separations. One here like this, one here like this, one like this, one like this, one like that. Okay, so you see that line there? Looks good, looks good. Now, I'm actually going to add 1, 2, 3. I'm going to add 8 lines here, okay? Now, I don't have to do that for every one here. I just need to do that here. I just got to find out on this edge here how to separate this into a half and how to separate it into a quarter. So, go here like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are my 2 center points. I'm going to go to the zenith again. Go to the zenith again here like this. 1, like that. Okay, so I got 2 new points here. 2. I want to have these middle ones as well, but I think from this point I could kind of eyeball it. Like you could do this again, the cross section again, get really accurate there, but I think I could eyeball that particular one here. So I'm gonna go get these lines done first. So from here all the way up, again keep in mind the barrier here. 1, 3, 5, like that. And then this one here like this. There you go. You know what? I'll leave it like that, so it's a little bit more clear. Like I could add more, but just to keep it a little bit more clear. Okay, so I'm gonna actually go here and add some more lines here. And again, I'm just gonna guesstimate the size of these windows. So I can actually add a little bit more windows there on that side. One thing I forgot to do is add some on this side, so I'm gonna actually do some verticals here since I'm up here already. And then I'm gonna go from this vanishing point and add some going this way. Okay. Right, now I'm going to add some windows in here. Okay, I'm not going to get too... not going to get that accurate with these particular ones. All you need to do is get the center point here, and then I'll go from there. But first things first, I'm going to, you see these lines here, the quarters, I'm going to actually draw those in first, make them a little bit thicker. Okay, so we have that. Now I'm going to add a little bit more detail in here. Okay, so I'm going to actually do 2 things. I'm going to go from where I think the center is, and then that. So I kind of free-handed that. I just realized I made a big mistake here. I wasn't supposed to do that up here. I wanted that clear, but that it's done now, so nothing I can do about that. So this is what I'm doing, guys. I'm doing the center line first. I'm doing the center line first, where I think the center line is, and then I'm going to go for the center from that and the top one, and then I'm doing the center here like this. And then I will fill in the gaps. Just helps to keep it a little bit more accurate without having to do the whole cross section thingy. Okay, now this part's getting lost now, but that's okay. We'll when we do the vertical lines, it will help with that separation. So got the one here like this. So we got halfway, halfway, halfway. Same here. Center. Though I think the center is actually higher there. Halfway. Again, center. Center would probably be like around here. Center. Halfway. Halfway. Okay, now I'm gonna add 2 more lines here. From the top here like this. So I'm going to go and actually add a few more buildings behind here very quickly. Just simple boxes, but that's the entire idea. So you have the 3 vanishing points here. Okay, and from that you could build a whole sort of cityscape here. So I'm just going to do some simple boxes here. Okay, so first of all, let me set up this ground here. Because it's on top of a mountain. Okay, so again guys, this is a very simple tutorial. I will be doing one that's a little bit more complex city scene with a lot more organic shapes to it eventually. But I just wanted you guys to get the idea of what we're doing here. Okay, so I'm going to actually go ahead and draw a few more buildings in here. Okay, I'm not even going to sketch them out. Just going to add them. Okay, so I'm going to go from here like this, and then I'm just going to add like that, and then from here. Okay, so you can see that's one building there. Maybe I'll add another building back here like this. It's a bit taller. So I'm just adding some boxes here, guys. A building that goes all the way down like this. All the way down. Okay, maybe on this side here I'll add a smaller building. Maybe it would start like this. This would be the edge here like this. Something like that. Then I'm gonna go from this vanishing point here. Go like that. Go down like this, and I might add another building up here like this, here like that. Maybe a smaller building like this, or a thinner building, so maybe it's a little like further back. Okay, and then we go back like this. So you can have fun with this, guys. Like do whatever you want, really. Do whatever you want. Maybe I'll add another building that's kind of like this. So now we're getting close to the edge, guys, and you gotta be careful when you get close to the triangle. Things are gonna start looking really wonky after a while. Okay, maybe I'll add another building here like this. Depending on how detailed you guys want to go here, go for it. If you want to throw windows in all these buildings, do it. You guys know how already. So, and if you do it, I'd love to see it. So please share that with me for sure. I'd love to see it. A lot of you actually shared with me some of your 2-point perspective and 1-point on Instagram. And all of it looks great, guys. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Good stuff. Okay. Here like this. I'm going to go down like that, and then the side to this building. Okay, but you guys get the idea, right? You get the idea. If I wanted to do like an even smaller building over here, let's make sure we're going to the right point. Maybe there's even like a small tower that's going on here. Go like that. Okay, but that's pretty much how you would do it, guys. That's how you do simple 3-point perspective. Okay, now we will get into some more complicated city scenes and all that with 3-point perspective for sure. I would like to do like a down version where you're going to the bottom. If this was reversed, if your vanishing point was down below, just say you were on a high building looking down, how that would work. Okay, but for the most part, this is how you do 3-point perspective. So if you guys wanted to go ahead and finish these buildings, please do. Please be my guest. Yeah, that's how it is. Okay, so that's simple 3-point perspective. I hope you guys learned something. All right, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, you know what, guys? I was going to leave it like this, but I feel obliged to add a little bit more to this. So I'm just gonna go here, guys, add all this detail to this. Again, you guys can add as much or as little detail as you want to these particular pieces. For me, I'm just gonna add a few things here really quickly, just for my own sake. I just couldn't leave it the way it was. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go here now. Just do your best that in perspective here, like these windows should be smaller than this. The windows on the side here should be smaller than this. Always keep stuff like that in mind whenever you are adding detail to these things. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead here. Add some sort of detail here. It's up to you how much you want again. And as you can tell, guys, I'm just gonna go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth with the three vanishing points here. Okay, so let's do it. Just doing this by eye here. Okay, so we got that building over there like that. And then this is the tedious part. It's always the tedious part, adding the windows to everything. Especially depending on how big your windows are with everything. So like sometimes I would even just go ahead and freehand stuff like this in here. But for this sake of this tutorial, I will actually do this properly. But I'll let you guys know, like for the most part nowadays, because I've done this so much in my career, like I probably wouldn't, like I don't know if I draw anything like this extreme anymore in perspective, or had to recently. Okay, so that's the one building there. Let's do a building here. I'm going to add, again, going with the top, the zenith. Go like this. On the top like that. Let's go reverse this time. Let's do something like this. Let's do a mix actually. Why don't we do like little vertical lines like this. Okay. And then we'll add a little ledge here like this. So it's like a different kind of building here, like this. Okay. So I'm going to go here and then add in some windows here like this. Okay, so we got that going on there. Just gonna strengthen up these little lines here like this. Give some depth to those guys there. And maybe I'm gonna go down here and then add a few more windows here like this. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so you guys get the idea, right? You guys get the idea. So I'm just gonna go ahead and then finish this off here. Maybe just adding little towers and stuff like that back here like that. So we will do this one thing where like these buildings are so far away that you actually don't see much of the actual windows themselves. You just see like the vertical lines. Sometimes you see stuff like that in comic books. Let me just fix up this here. I don't know what happened there. Up that there like that, that there like that. And maybe we could just add a few lines here like this. Sometimes you see interesting things like this in glass buildings. And again, guys, it wouldn't hurt to get yourself some reference here. Go grab yourself some reference of buildings and try to mimic them, okay? But again, these are very, very, very simple buildings, guys. Very, very simple. And eventually I will get to tutorials on the more complex buildings with more organic shapes to them. For our exercise here, this is just very, very, very simple. Very, very, very simple tutorial on 3-point here. But eventually I do hope to get to more complex cityscapes and stuff like that. So you guys will see my process when doing those. So real masterclass type stuff. Okay. So now I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna work it down. See, like this. I'm not gonna get too accurate. Try to keep my finger here. So again, guys, this would have been easier if I had the pin here. I was telling you guys about the pin earlier. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side here. It's a little tougher on this side just because it's hard to keep it. I'm cheat, guys. I'm cheating, guys. I'm cheating. I'm assuming I'm going way back, and you can already see when I tried to freehand this thing, it messed up. Messed up. Don't freehand, guys. Don't freehand like I did there. Messed it up. Messed it up. Don't try to freehand. Well, freehand when you're ready. Freehand when you're ready, and that is a great skill to have if you're able to go without the ruler. If you understand how everything should look, sometimes you can go without the ruler. So there are some exercises you could do to start doing everything freehand, and maybe I'll go through over a tutorial on freehanding these type of things one of these days. So okay, so I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna actually draw a line down the center here from the top zenith again, like that, like this. I might add a little antenna there, so they're going like that. Okay, but you guys get the idea, right? You get the idea. You get the idea. So I'm just gonna finish up here. A little detail here and there. Of course, this isn't going to be the most elaborate cityscape in the world, but at least you guys get an idea of how we're doing it. Okay, so just going back and forth with all 3 points, and you guys should be good. Okay, so we're going to end off the tutorial here. I'm going to end off the tutorial right here as soon as I can figure out when to stop. Very close to stopping. I'm just going to do this here. I do the same here. I'm just going to do like one of these glass buildings again here because they're the easiest at this point. I didn't want this tutorial to be that long. I think we're already pushing an hour here. Add other things. Please do be my guest. Be my guest. And then show me, tag me on Instagram or Facebook. I'd love to see it for sure. Okay? And there you go, that is my 3-point perspective tutorial done in real time, and I hope you guys were able to follow along. You know, it's one thing about these tutorials, again, these are meant for you to actually draw, okay? Sometimes the only way we can learn is by actual practicing. So I'm hoping with these real-time videos that you guys are able to learn by following along. That's what these videos are meant for. Okay, so we had the 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective. I hope you all learned something from that. Okay, so I'm not sure if next week, if we were going to continue with perspective, I might take a break and do a different type of tutorial. In fact, why don't you guys let me know? What kind of tutorial do you want me to tackle? Please do let me know in the comments below. Now, we will get more in-depth in perspective, how to do a little bit more organic, complex objects, because the thing with perspective, everything is in perspective, okay? It doesn't have to be straight lines, just have to have straight lines to be in perspective. Everything is in perspective. The human body is in perspective. So how do we draw like that? I will teach you guys that eventually. But let me know what you would like to learn for next week, okay? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you guys for watching this. If you know anyone who could benefit from these type of videos, please do share this video. Please also hit that thumbs up button, that like button, mean a lot to me, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for all of you who have subscribed to my channel. It really does mean a lot to me. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It will mean even more to me, for sure. Thank you all for watching. My name is James. I'm the box office artist. I'm here to say keep drawing, and I'll see all of you tomorrow.